Hi, Filmatics. Welcome to the show. Today, we have a special spotlight for rising stars in Hollywood, and we have an amazing guest. We have Charlie Johnson. He's an up and coming film and television producer who started his career by working as a producer assistant for the TV show Delilah, a Warner Brothers show. And then he worked for producers on Day Shift, a Netflix show, and then he became an assistant at William Morris Endeavor in the film department. And he's starting his brand new career and moving to a new office, RK Films. That's Rosh Kirschenbaum Films. Let's welcome Charlie Johnson to the show. Charlie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here, excited to chat and just have a good time and geek out.
Yeah, Charlie, can you tell everybody where we're recording with you today?
I'm actually in Atlanta at the moment, so I'm in sometimes sunny Georgia.
Oh, so okay, so you work in Los Angeles, right? Did you take a little break?
Right. Well, everything's remote right now, so everybody's kind of all over the place right now. So I was in Los Angeles maybe a month and a half ago, so I came home, spent a little time with family, and also work at the same time.
Oh, so your new job that you're going to be working on, brand new job, and you got promoted, right, to creative development. Congratulations, Charlie. I'm so happy for you. So you're also able to work from home for that. That's amazing, right?
Yeah, till the summertime. So the summertime I'll be back in beautiful Los Angeles.
Okay, then we'll have to have coffee or something or a smoothie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So can you tell me? So growing up, what was one of your favorite films?
I think growing up, my favorite film was definitely Rush Hour.
What was it?
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour.
And buddy action comedy. I loved it. It really jump started my interest in film and my interest in storytelling, and kind of kickstarted it off for me actually.
So Rush Hour, did you see it out? Did you see it with your buddies or your family?
I was a little kid then. My dad actually took me to go see it, and I had no idea. I wasn't into movies at the time until I saw Rush Hour. I had no idea what this movie was, but it really just blew my mind. And I remember just being up all night thinking about that movie.
You're like, yeah. So yeah, it's super fun. That was wonderful fun. So and then so where did you grow up? Did you grow up in Georgia? What part of did you grow up in?
Yeah, I'm Georgia born. More specifically, I grew up in a small city called Albany, Georgia, which is about 3 hours southeast of Atlanta, Georgia. Relocated to Atlanta after I started college back in 2010. So went to Georgia State, studied film there, and eventually made my way into a more professional career in film. So it's been a nice ride so far. I'm enjoying it all.
So you're from this little small town. You said Albany, right? Albany, Georgia.
Albany, Georgia. Yep.
Yeah. So Rush Hour was you were a little boy watching with your dad, and you couldn't stop thinking about this film. Did you know that it was a film, like the people were actors? Because when I was little, I didn't know that people were actors, and when I was watching TV, I go, well, how did they catch people in the kitchen and doing all those things? Like I didn't even know what acting was. I was just so enamored, like that they would catch people. Like how did the camera catch people? I didn't even know what a camera was, but like just didn't know any of the. I was so naive, like just didn't even know. But I was just like, wow, that's so cool.
Right. And the funny thing, of course, back then I had no idea of how much it took to make a film. I enjoyed films that brought me into another world and that allowed me to imagine, new worlds and, new ideas and new characters. And, the great thing about Rush Hour is that it was so off the wall and so unique, but also so real in the characters that they chose. But it was definitely an eye opener, And honestly, I thought that people just got a camera and just shot, even at that level. It was just simple: get a camera and let's go shoot somewhere. Before I really knew how much really went into making those sort of projects.
Yeah, and Jackie Chan is so freaking funny. I mean,
Yes,
hilarious.
yes,
I like comedies too. I write comedies. I actually write screwball comedies and children's stuff. That's my forte in magical. And when I saw Preston Surge's films, I go, oh my gosh, The Weenie King, Palm Beach Story, The Lady Eve, all those things. Yeah. So Rush Hour. So I want to ask you, do you have a favorite Criterion film that maybe inspired you to go to college and study film?
I'm definitely big on genre specific. Love this, love the suspense, love the thrillers, love the horror. But also have an appreciation for, the tentpole sort of movies that, the mega companies such as, the Disney Marvels are putting out, and even the Warner Brothers right now. But definitely love the director-driven, character-driven sort of stories, and that's kind of where the focus is.
Yeah, but did you have a favorite Criterion film? Is there one that you were just like, wow, that just blew me away? Because I remember La Dolce Vita, The Bicycle Thief, like you're just crying, like, oh, don't take their bicycle. No, don't take his bicycle. No. And then El Postino, that guy became that postman, and he just transformed you into that postman in that village. Like the incredible acting, like those just blew my mind. Was there one film that you liked before you went to? Did you start studying? You went, what college was that again? Because we a little bit low on the volume there, but I want our listeners to know, like.
Right. It was Georgia State University in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
As far as Criterion, I consume so much content, right? I was start working kind of job. I was going to school at 15, and every time I would get paid every 2 weeks, I would go to movie gallery. When we had a movie gallery, and I would use some of my money. I would rent movies every 2 weeks, and during that time, I love anything with Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, Morgan Freeman, The Alone Came of Spiders, The White Man Can't Jump, anything like that. The Money Trains, so Training Day. So it was not just one film, but I think it was a combination of all those films over time that just really opened my mind up and really showed me that, okay, this is a career that I want to pursue. So yeah, I wish I could create one, but there's just so many of them.
Yeah, and that's what you picked as a major when you went to Georgia, State University, right? And then you started looking at all those great films. And then I would ask you, do you have a favorite director? Do you have a favorite one? We all love directors, And
Right.
there's so many because like we are actually recording before. By the time this comes out, it'll be after the Oscars. But like Steven Spielberg's up for West Side Story, Kenneth Branagh for Bella Pest, the movie. I'm probably said it wrong. And Jane Campion for her The Power of the Dog, all those great movies. But do you have a director that just fascinates you?
Of course, I love Jordan Peele. I think he's a genius, but I also love M. Night Shyamalan. I love the pieces that he's been putting out over the years. And Antoine Fuqua, loved his most recent film for Netflix, The Guilty. All these, the things that they put out right up my alley, the horror or the suspense, really, high concept, tension building stories.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. So you like some horror films? What are some of your favorites? Halloween always gets me, right?
Obviously, I love the legendary names, the Halloweens, Friday the 13th, all those sort of things. But I think Blumhouse came out in a big way over the past decade. And I love the Conjuring series and the Insidious series the most right now. I think those things are just really cool. I love what they're doing with it. So definitely a big fan. A big fan of those series.
Yeah. For our audience, Blumhouse is a production company that pretty much they do a lot of horror films, right? So just so the audience,
right.
You have international audience. I actually went to a birthday party. Well, my dog met Noah from Blumhouse. I don't know if you know Noah. He's in development, and it was his birthday, and he met my dog. So my dog got to meet. Particular, yeah, they were all from like Blumhouse. It was really cute, yeah. And so we're at college. We're in Georgia. Now, how do you go from Georgia all the way to the other side, and you're in Los Angeles.
Right. It's crazy story. I was working on the feature day shift down here in Georgia actually last year, and I was assisting a producer who just so happened to be a previous long time motion picture agent at William Morris Endeavor, and we share a lot of conversations, a lot of laughs throughout that movie. And he said, Charlie, you should give the agency a try. You should try it out. Make your way to LA and see how you like it. So that pretty much started. He introduced me to some of his previous colleagues over there, and I met with them, and the Zoom call was amazing. I love the culture of William Morris and what they represented, and they pretty much opened their arms to me, and told me to come on, and I jumped on it, and I absolutely enjoyed my ride there.
Yeah, it's one of the top agencies that you're working for, and you're in the motion picture department. I mean, you are now looking how like they're making rush hours and the tentpole films. So you want to tell the audience a little bit about tentpole films, because some people have never heard that term or probably don't know what that is.
Right. Just in simple terms, it's the blockbuster movies, the big budget, pretty much sure success movies, the Spider-Mans and the Batmans, the TV shows that you pretty much grew up on as a child. They're now live action features that are just blowing everybody's minds away. I think Marvel / Disney did it in a major way over the past decade, and they pretty much own that lane, and much respect to them. I love genre, but would love to get my hands dirty with one of those as well one day.
Yes. So and then so you worked for in college, you met a producer and you worked on a film. Do you want to share a little bit about that film?
So in college, I met a producer by the name of oh my gosh, Howard Griffith. He was a producer on the TV show Sleepy Hollow, season 3 at the time, and they had just moved from Charlotte or North Carolina to Georgia, and we just so happened to cross paths one day, and I was familiar with him and I knew who he was, and asked him for a conversation, and the conversation was great. He pretty much, told me like, hey, I'm looking for an assistant, looking for someone here in town. I don't know much about Atlanta. Can you help me out? And obviously I said, I'm your guy. Let's do it, and about 2 weeks later, I was working for him on that show, and following him on his next 2 shows, actually. So we did 3 shows together, and we're still close to this day. I absolutely love him and thank him for pretty much opening the door for me.
And that's amazing when people open the door to you, because it's nice to hear that, and there's still some of us that are still knocking. They're like, hello, Hollywood. I got top 1%, number 1 in countries. What more do you need? I don't know. So you're working for this fabulous guy, Howard, right? Howard. And then
Howard, yep.
He's dressed as like perhaps an agency, maybe to start and give you a well-rounded career. So then you went to you did some other stuff, right? Because
I did a lot of physical production in the beginning.
Yeah. So and then do you want to share your time on Delilah, working for the producer for Delilah, the show at Warner Brothers?
Right. So I was working for a producer by the name of Kat Lansberg, while also helping one of their directing producers, Charles Randolph Wright. We shot this in Charlotte, North Carolina, actually. And you know what? This was like right on the brink of things starting to come back from COVID. So there was a lot of uncertainty, a lot of newness to it, a lot of figuring it out. So it was definitely an experience for myself, my bosses and the production as a whole. But it was an amazing experience. The crew we had, the cast we had, everybody was, on board with safety and on board with just making it as great of a project as we could. Warner Brothers was just super supportive of us through the whole route. We hit some roadblocks because of COVID, suffered a few schedule setbacks and whatnot, which was expected. But managed to get through the show, to have a good time. The only thing that we were able to do, of course, was have a red party, which I was so used to at the time. And for everybody to kind of enjoy themselves as a last goodbye.
Oh, the part. So yeah. So some of those things, but I as long as we have our health, I think that's important because
Exactly.
yeah, and and then you moved on to how was Day Shift with the Netflix show? It looks really fun, amazing.
They Shift was fun. It was my first, pretty big action comedy project I've ever been a part of. And I was working for Jason Spitz, who was the longtime previous motion picture agent, as well as two other producers by the name of Sean Reddick and Yvette Yates Reddick from Impossible Dream. That show was great. Jamie Foxx, Megan Good, Snoop Dogg. I mean, these were all people I kind of grew up watching. So to meet them and to work with them and to spend time with them, Dave Franco on a daily basis was amazing. Learned so much from my bosses and so much about producing on another level. And, I was really, immersed within the filmmaking process of that project. We had a great director, J.J. Perry. It's actually his first directorial debut. So it was so fun, being a part of that and, seeing him work through his process. And I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be an amazing film. I can't wait for everybody to see it.
Yeah, it looks great. He's like a pool man by day, but at night he's a vampire hunter.
Yes, it's completely just off the wall. Vampires, action, Jamie Foxx, the dog. Like you can't go wrong with it, pretty much.
And this one is a TV series, right?
It's a movie, actually.
This one's a movie. Okay, so how did you is there a difference did you find between producing TV shows and films, and which one did you prefer? Was there one that you preferred more?
Definitely prefer features, but have a forever love for television, as is where I started. Television, as far as physical production, is definitely grueling, right? You're doing an episode every 7 to 9 days. No matter which format, you're working long hours. The thing about features is you got one script, right? Focus on pretty much one schedule for that entire film, and one cast. Where in TV things are always changing, script by script. New guest stars, maybe new locations, new storylines being told. So it's definitely a lot to navigate. But for me, features is definitely my number one. With TV being a love, a forever love as well.
Yeah. Because I run 3 podcasts. I'm a showrunner to 3 podcasts, and you've got to work it. Like you have to be organized. You're like a mini showrunner on a podcast, and especially coordinating the guests, talking to the guests, getting all the material you need. It's like it's running like a TV show because like mine are ongoing and having new people come in and like meeting lots of people. So it's like a TV show, which my goal is to be a kids TV producer, and then some of them are just meant for 10 pole. So we'll have to talk, Charlie. They are like Harry Potter. I'm like, and yeah, if you like magic and wizards, and this time it's a girl wizard flying on a horse, and she's got a talking cat and a Scottish accent. That's my Margaret Merlin's journal wizard book series. But yeah, and I'm looking for someone that can do temple. So maybe Charlie, you can do it, or it'll be fun. And so you did movies and you did TV, and then you're at William Morris. Is there any fun stories you want to share with everyone that's listening? Because we have an amazing audience, and they just love our shows.
Right. As far as my time in physical production, or William Morris, or both?
Yeah. Do you have any funny stories to share with them?
I don't know if I can say it on your podcast or not. So Okay, let me think of something that's okay. So I was working on I was working on the feature Bessie that was directed by D. Rees for I believe it was HBO at the time, and it starred Monique as well as Queen Latifah. And I remember Monique, who I absolutely loved, super gracious, super kind. And I remember her. It was my birthday, and I remember her coming. We were shooting a scene. She stopped the scene and started singing in her most Monique voice, "Happy Birthday," in front of like 200 extras in this, this stadium sort of auditorium that we rented out, and after hours of work. And, I thought that was really cool and really unique.
That's
As well as
amazing.
yeah. So I enjoyed myself. It's crazy because there's so many experiences that you get over time that they all kind of conjoin into one. But I've met some great people, some people that I grew up watching, some people that I became new fans of and familiar with, and definitely love every moment of it.
I just want because the sound. Sometimes we have amazing Wi-Fi, and today we're having a little gurgle. So I apologize to our audience. But I wanted to say, can you repeat the film again so they can hear this incredible story? You are working as a producer's assistant, right, for this film. What was the name of the film again?
I was working on a film called Bessie.
Bessie.
Bessie at the time.
And Monique, can you say her name again? Monique. How do you say her? Monique.
She's a comedian. Most known for the Queens of Comedy.
Okay, so Monique, the Queens of Comedy, knows it's your birthday while shooting Bessie, and you're the producer's assistant. I don't even know if the producer got a happy birthday song. So Monique is singing happy birthday to Charlie Johnson because you know what? She knows you're going to be the next big TV and film producer. Wow, that is such an incredible and beautiful memory and amazing story, And everyone in Los Angeles is going, I worked for agents and producers. I never had a happy birthday song. So
right.
You have the magic touch, Charlie. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And so you how was it working at William Morris for an agency? How did you like that compared to being in a producer a TV and film? How was that like?
Complete world shift. Working in an agency, and especially one as profound as William Morris, I was able to really download and learn the business side of entertainment, right? Really, diverse myself and learn about a lot of up and coming writers, directors, not just local, but also international, across seas, and pretty much knew I was in the ecosystem of the business. I knew everything that was going on, what studios were looking for, what production companies were looking for, what sort of things worked, how to package material, how to sell material, how to pitch material, and I made a lot of connections there, and that's what I was looking for. I wanted that development sort of business side of it to go along with my knowledge of what I learned in physical production. So it was a perfect harmony for me, and I like I said, I work for Eric Darnell in motion picture, and I enjoy every moment of it.
Ah, that's amazing. Yeah. And you're going to be starting a new job. And I'm going to ask you, do you write it all, Charlie? Are you a writer or you'll be in development? You'll be looking at write because some producers, they just get the material and work on it and they're the leaders and they find the director and the team and make it happen. Are you a producer that writes?
I do not write. I wish I had such a talent. I do not write, but I read a lot.
Okay, so you have a good eye. Yeah. So what would be your dream? Like we know you like Rush Hour, and we know you like Marvel. But what are some of your dream projects that you would like to find and bring to the table and produce? Like what would be your poster above your desk?
I would love to pretty much, make the new age Alone Came a Spiders and the new age coming to Americas and different things like that. I would love to, make, films that resonate within the awards community. Would love to have something that's possibly nominated one day. And to just break in new artists, new talent that's been doing, a lot of groundwork over the years. Like I said, I read a lot. I open myself to different writers who may not have a traditional outlet within the business, and to give them an outlet, as well as working with the more established talent that has already made their way in. So I think there's a lot of storytelling out there, and a lot of people who have great stories or great concepts or great ideas that can work within the current climate of the business.
Oh yeah. And as a producer, you're going to be on film. So is there like you've been to different locations? Have there been a location that you just really enjoyed shooting with? You shot in like where North Carolina, right?
Shot in North Carolina. I enjoy, as far as physical production, I enjoy shooting on the road. It's so fun. It's almost like a school field trip.
Yeah,
It's almost like going away.
yeah, I get a feel that you really like being out there on location because like oh my god, can you imagine Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones? But you have to probably live there a couple years, right?
Right, right.
Bye mom, bye dad. I'll be back shooting this film in 3 years.
Right, right. Well, it depends. Production depends on how long the show is. Maybe a few months, maybe longer. But you brought Lord of the Rings. I would love to have worked on that. I think they shot down like New Zealand, right, or something.
Yeah, I think they had to be there for a while. I saw the behind the scenes how they're making the Hobbit houses and everything like
Oh,
that. Yeah, and how he went in there and shot these different angles and made the
right,
sets. And I
right,
felt like as a girl, it's a little bit harder for us, a female, to get in because guys do like guys. Like it's just easier. You can play cards, you can play poker, you can play chess, you can have some cognac, you can smoke some cigars, and it's just it is just a tad, I would say, but you guys are helping women, so so grateful to like the doors are opening for people that, especially those, we might not be young anymore, but we've been in the trenches building up and I guess like champagne, or the older you get, like you're going to be more expensive at this time, but you're going to be giving them something so valuable at that point because you've been
right,
working on your craft longer and harder. And
right,
yes.
right.
So where oh yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your new production company and what's going on for you in the future?
Right. So I am transitioning to development at Roth and Kirschenbaum Films next week, and looking really forward to working with that team. Working very closely with the president and VP, who is Zach Roth, as well as Alyssa Altman. Um, when I first met over Zoom, it felt like a family affair. We loved the same sort of things. I respected the purpose that they had, statement that they had in place, and of course, the owners and key producers of that company, Joe Roth and Jeff Kirschenbaum, are legends within the business. So I was extremely happy and proud that they, wanted me to join and to take it on with them, and I can't wait to get started.
Well, congratulations on that. And where can people keep up with what you're doing? Are you on social media? Do you have a website?
Um, right now, LinkedIn, working on the website, which I can hopefully get out this summer. Love to stay connected, but you can look me up on LinkedIn. My name, Charlie Johnson. Feel free to shoot me a message and anything. Always happy to chat and happy to connect and meet new people.
Yeah, and make sure you tell him you heard him on Filmatics podcast. And thank you to our listeners for our amazing spotlight, Charlie Johnson, today. He's got a bright, bright future today. And take a second to like, subscribe, download the podcast, give us nice 5 stars. And thank you for listening and making us be a top podcast, hitting #1 around the world. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Talk to you next week.
Thank you.